Hi, team. It's Fitz. Hope you guys are having a great day. So this is an impromptu little live stream today, but I wanted to talk to you about being a nerd at the gym. And I find it so interesting that so many grown-ups are still worried about being nerds. And I think I worried about that maybe when I was in elementary school, and then even some high schoolers do it. But yeah, it's interesting how many grown-ups are like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to be the weirdo in the gym. And I'm going to start by telling you, if you're in the gym, you're not a weirdo. If you walk into the gym, you instantly demand respect, right? Why? Because you're in the gym. You're someone who cares about yourself, your health. Your health matters in all aspects of your life, your personal life, your romantic life, your professional life. It matters to your longevity. I mean, right now with the COVID stuff, I'm going to call it, because I don't want to use an ugly word. Health really matters, and voluntarily being in a high risk category because you don't take care of yourself is really foolish. So again, the second you walk into a health club, a fitness center, a gym, whatever you want to call it, you're instantly one of the cool people. And I'll start by telling you that, with my fitness expertise, I've spent the bulk of my life in and out of fitness centers, and I feel great there. However, the people that I admire most are the ones that are getting it done no matter what. And these are the people in my gym that make me so happy. Every time I see them, they just fill my heart up with love. So there's a guy who comes in with khakis and a polo, and he's a little awkward, but he gets on the bike and he goes. And he doesn't go too hard, so he's not sweating to death in his clothes, but he comes, I'm guessing it's his lunch hour, dinner hour, whatever, but he's on that bike and he's pedaling away in his khakis. And I fall in love with him every time I see him. I just think, oh, he's the best. Now there's another guy that tops him. Now, I'm in Gainesville, Florida, and we've got some country folks around here, and the country folks are just pure delight to me. I love the waitress that calls me sugar and baby, and it's a very friendly Southern-style community for the most part. But there's a guy who comes in, and he's pure Wrangler, pure cowboy, and he shows up in his jeans and his boots, and he lifts weights. And I swoon, right? Now, is he dressed appropriately for the gym? No. Does he have all sorts of, fancy latex gear and logos and the fast shoes with the bright colors? No, he doesn't have any of that. But he showed up, and he's in his jeans, and he doesn't care what anyone else thinks because he's there to get his workout. I love that guy. There's a woman. So the gym I attend has 3 different locations. There's a woman who goes to the women's center. She shows up most days at around noon, I guess, and she's in the 80s style woman's business suit. So kind of think pastel jacket, kind of a dressy shirt underneath, maybe with a little frill, and then the pink skirt to match, or the pastel skirt to match, and then running shoes or sneakers. And she's on the treadmill walking, and I just admire her so much because maybe she doesn't have time to bring the clothes, change in the locker room, get her proper workout, and then get changed and go back. So she just shows the hell up in her little suit and her sneakers, and I think she's the coolest person in the gym. And so that's really what I'm hoping you'll take from this is you don't have to be the guy who knows it all, or the girl with the best body, or the fanciest clothes, or the one who can run the most or lift the most, et cetera, et cetera. You just have to be someone who shows up. Does that make sense? I think we can all agree that when people take care of themselves, they're a better part of society, right? Our economy can't afford a bunch of sick people on the dole. We just can't afford it to constantly pay for people who eat recklessly and earn type 2 diabetes or heart disease. So for those who are taking care of themselves, they're helping out society at large. It's a great gift to everybody when we all pitch in for our own benefit. So those are some of my favorite people. There's one more guy I want to mention, and he might be my overall favorite. So he's an older gentleman, and he wears biker tights, like latex shorts, and he always shows up with a white dress shirt, button down, collar, and it's partially buttoned. He has the high black socks. I remember when I was little, my dad would show up to our sporting events with high black socks and then his sneakers, which is really cute. I mean, whatever, dads, right? But this guy, he does it every day. It's the biker shorts, the dress shirt, the business socks, and then some sort of athletic footwear. And they're not fancy, but they're his. And then this is where he becomes the all-star, is he goes in and takes the classes, the dancing classes with the women. And I'm not picking on him. The reality is the man doesn't have much coordination, but he's in there trying every day. And he might be a few steps behind when everyone starts going right. It might take him a few moments to also go right, but he's having so much fun, and he's kind of flaily and all over, haphazard. And I just think, couldn't we all be like that guy? You know, he is the epitome of dance like nobody's watching. He's just out there for himself. And so I can tell you that I haven't always been the superstar at the gym. When I joined as a teenager, I was kind of overweight. I was 45 pounds heavier than I am now. So that didn't feel great. And then I got super fit, and I stayed super fit for a long time. And then a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and chemo really whacked me. And the whole debacle whacked me. Chemo, radiation, surgeries, it all paid its, there was a toll for me to pay for having it. And so, yeah, showing up bald felt kind of weird. I didn't feel like myself, but I showed up because I needed it, and my health mattered. Getting strong mattered. And after the first part of my chemo, which we called or dubbed the mean chemo, I was whacked out of the gym for 3 solid months, no exercise at all. And I was so weak. Even my hands were weak. I could barely, snap a snap. And I showed up at the gym, and I was so happy to be back. I thought, oh, I'm finally here. And then I went over to the strength training equipment, the Nautilus style machines, and I sat down, and I was lifting about a fourth, 25% of what I used to lift before chemo and cancer. And so there was a pivot point for me, as I could have been embarrassed. I could have thought, oh gosh, I'm not lifting as much as I used to. What are people going to think? Well, what are people going to think? Oh, that bald girl, shame on her for not being able to lift a whole bunch of weight. And here's the other thing. How would they know what I used to lift? Nobody knows what you're lifting. Nobody cares what you're lifting. The audacity that I would even suggest that anybody in the gym was preoccupied with me and what I was or wasn't lifting is just outrageous, right? Why would I even think that? So yeah, Steve, thank you for joining me, Steve. Yeah, showing up is the hardest part, period, end of story. And that makes you a hero. So there I was, lifting not much. And I just decided that it's not about competing with anybody else. It's not even about competing with the old me. I was just trying to do better and be better for the place that I was in. And that led to workout number 2 and workout number 3. But it was one of the times in my recent history where I was able to identify with the many folks who have told me throughout my career, well, I can't go to the gym because I'm no good at it. I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to lift. I don't know. I'm weak. I'm inflexible. Well, that's why you go to the gym. You go to the gym or outdoors to exercise, or in front of your YouTube on your TV to exercise, because you need to do better and be better. And we don't all start off as exercise pros with great, strong, capable bodies. That's something we have to earn. It's interesting. I used to train elite athletes frequently. And so I'll use the Gator soccer team, women's soccer team, and the Gator women's tennis team as an example. Now, the years I trained those teams, I think it was 1998, both the women's soccer and the women's tennis won the national championship. And I was teaching them how to kickbox. Now, none of them knew how to kickbox, but they never, ever flinched when I taught them something new. They just said, okay, I'm going to give it all I got, and then you can correct me. And so they never hesitated, and that really helped them progress very quickly. Abby Wambach was on that team, by the way, and I was smart enough not to let Abby kick me, which patting myself on the back for making some good decisions. But that's a really unique trait that elite athletes have that I wish the regular Joes and Janes would emulate, because so many Joes and Janes would come to me to learn how to kickbox, and I would teach them a move and they'd say, oh, I'm no good at it. Well, why in the world would you be good at a spinning roundhouse kick or a jump spinning hook kick? Why would you be good? Somebody has to teach you. You have to be bad, and then you have to start off awkward, and then we'll get you to good, maybe even get you to great, but you'll never get to great if you're not willing to go full force on your first effort and just look silly. And I've made an entire career out of looking silly in many situations. It's not about being perfect. Fitness is always about you becoming better, doing better, be better. So we got Kristen Deitel. Kristen's daughter was one of my morning milers, and I love her so much. I hope she's doing well. Kirsten says, the gym is so intimidating for so many people. Yeah, it is intimidating. So that's why I'm trying to take the load off. Is it doesn't have to be intimidating. You don't have to wear all the right clothes. You can show up in your khakis. You can show up in a dress. You can show up in your cowboy boots. Are those things ideal? Are they functional for fitness? Not necessarily, but who gives? You know, when you pay for a membership, they agree to let you in wearing almost any weird thing you want to wear. So show up in a tuxedo and do some push-ups, and I will give you nothing but praise. So that's my message for today, is you don't have to be cool to be at the gym. And if you're worrying about being cool, maybe you have other things to worry about. So says me. All right, team, I'm logging off for now. I hope I've been heard. You can continue to engage by leaving comments. I will come back and look at them, and yeah, we'll chat. Take care, guys. Get to work. Bye.